Welcome to this very special edition of AnewZ Talks, coming to you live from Kazakhstan's capital, Astana. We're here in the prestigious and state-of-the-art International School of Journalism here at MNU. And it's a very special episode, not just because we have a distinguished panelist group that we're going to be hearing from in a few moments' time. It's also special because, unlike previous episodes, we are joining forces with our friends at Jibek Silkway TV to simultaneously broadcast the event on both channels. And of course, that gives me the honour of jointly hosting this session with the distinguished and much loved broadcaster from Jibek Silkway, Kansaya, who is with me. Kansaya Kermet, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Now, Kansaya, you're going to explain more about the theme of today and introduce our distinguished panelists, aren't you?
Yeah. So today we are here to discuss what I believe is a highly relevant and timely topic, the convergence of media and diplomacy. So every year the media landscape continues to evolve. The rise of artificial intelligence, social media and various digital platforms has fundamentally transformed journalism and media as we once knew them. So these informational technologies are also shaping political discourse in significant ways. So today, together with our esteemed experts from various fields, we will reflect on the present and explore the future of media and diplomacy. So let me begin by introducing our distinguished experts. First, Shugurbayev AnewZ, political observer, PhD candidate. Shahzada Shugilbayeva, brand strategist, founder of Teren. The PR director of the Foundation for Sustainable Rural Development. Miraz Zhienbaev, advisor to the chairman of the Board for International Affairs and Initiatives at Maqsut Narikbayev University. And the last one, Amina Baykenova, master in informatics, IT product manager in Institute of Smart Systems and Artificial Intelligence. My first question is to AnewZ. What is the role of the media in diplomacy today, and how do the media shape the international agenda?
Well, from my point of view, if you talk about the social sphere, international relations, everything that is concerned about the society, everything is interconnected. For instance, this project, it's a media project, and it helps to increase the mutual understanding between the Azerbaijani nation and Kazakhstan's nation. So everything is interconnected. This is the first thing. The second thing, I think the media is about the information and the spread of information. And the crucial role here is the speed of spread of information. So every decision-making process, every policymaker, every decision-maker, when he makes some kind of decisions, when he creates some kind of policy, he looks on information. And the speed with which this information will come to him. And the frequency of this information is quite important. So that's my opinion.
Okay, and how do you think, what information technologies are the most in demand today?
Well, first of all, of course, it's artificial intelligence, AI. It changes a lot of things. So now if for instance 5 years ago, 10 years ago, we could see that, okay, this is just a deep fake. Now we cannot say that it's a deep fake. It's actually the man who's speaking. It's some kind of, I don't know, the minister of something, or maybe some political person speaking it to me. And I cannot tell exactly, is it a deep fake, was created by AI? And in my personal point of view, the marking of AI technologies, that this production was created with AI is quite important nowadays.
It's very interesting, AI, isn't it? Thank you very much for that answer. Amina, can I just come to you and just continue this theme? AI clearly is changing pretty much every industry you can think of, media being certainly one of them. On one hand, we can do things much faster. We can search as consumers for what we want and get access to it much faster. As companies that work in the media, we can produce content much faster. But on the other side, as we've just heard, there are problems, challenges, deep fakes, issues with trust between the media and the public. What is the right way for us to think about AI?
So generally, all AI tools is something like, now it's something new, and all people think, yes, we can start to use it. But on the other hand, all those data, all those fake news and everything which appears through the AI tools, it happens because people forget about what is the one of the important thing, what data is circulated inside all AI products, and where those data are hosted, where they are, like, how they are produced, and they are produced by people. And it's very important to understand that AI tools, like now everybody says, yes, in near future some professions will disappear because AI tool will replace the human being. But it's very important to understand that behind all AI models, all AI tools, all what we're using, it's very important to understand that there should be a person who stands behind and check it. So it is kind of hand-to-hand solution when you use AI for speedy work, but on the other hand, you check it, because the human being is one of the most important in the cycle of the products.
So as a human being yourself, as well as a professional, do you feel worried or optimistic or a bit of both?
Regarding AI, regarding the future, I think that it will definitely change everything. We will see and we will face one of the main problem. It is the problem who will create those, like the country which will create those AI tools. It would be one of the leading countries around the world. And that's why it's very important to focus on the AI tools which are hosted inside the country with which knows the mentality, the language of the country, the identity of nation. This is very important for each country to understand and to develop their own AI tools.
Okay, and what do you want to add, sorry? Yeah, sure.
I believe that the main issue is the ethics. Because in case of AI, so today, journalists, media, everyone working in PR and everywhere, we use GPT, we use AI, so we need it. We have to be clear about it. But AI today don't need a human to learn itself, to teach itself. And today's challenge is not about I believe, not about the human, but about the ethics of the AI-generated content, whatever it is text or video or the photo. And like ethics is very crucial today, I believe so.
And in this regard, the one important thing is informational hygiene. So you have to think, each person have to understand which content he is eating. So if you actually think about yourself, about your physical health, you also should think about your moral and mental health.
So what new trends are emerging in the media space today in terms of artificial intelligence, social platforms and other?
Speaking of the trends, like I run my PR and branding agency, and AI-generated content is like for sure is a trend today, but it's not a short-term trend. I believe that AI-generated images and videos, they are becoming more and more, they're becoming better. And using and like replacing real photo makers, video makers with AI-generated ones, it's a very, very fast trend. And speaking honestly, we, marketing agencies, PR and branding agencies, we are very worried about it, because there is a chance that we will leave with no money.
To your point of view, why young people and viewers trust more to influencers or bloggers than to traditional TV?
The power of storytelling, and the power of image. In our sphere in branding, in PR, we work a lot with image. And not even words, but the way someone is looked in the camera, it changes the perception. So today, media is not just a broadcaster. I guess you can agree with this. It's a moderator of the narrative. And the best example which springs to mind is Zelensky, who changed the view how the leader can look like with just a T-shirt, with no words, but wearing not a suit on the camera, but a T-shirt.
Mm-hmm. And how do you think, like, traditional television, will it survive in the era of digital first content and personalized media consumption?
Well, from my point of view, it's not just vanishing, it's transforming. So, for instance, this program, it will be not, we will watch this program not only on our TVs, but it will be downloaded to the YouTube. So, traditional TV is transforming. Another important point which Shahzada noted is changing of consumption. So now the younger generations, they have the clip syncing. So the format of news, it should be around 1 minute. Yeah.
Junk content, I guess.
Yeah, some kind of junk content. So if you want to talk with the younger generation, you have to transform how you make news, how you show the news, how you show the objective world.
If I may, I will divide all of the content creators and journalism. And the reason is quite simple. Even BBC and the rest of the traditional outlets are also presented online. They still publish, so you don't find any printed paper, newspaper or something like that. It's all online. For Kazakhstan, we also use a lot of Telegram channels, as example, as a source. With the different forms of content suitable for one concrete social media, adapted to its standards. But at the same time, we do have a lot of content creators. Every single person in this audience is content creator because they do have their own phone. They can, I don't know, record for like 15 seconds of our conversation with every single statement we told in this conversation, and they can use it wherever they want. They can speculate on something, they can argue on something. Today we are at university. AnewZ or Maqsut Narikbayev University proudly have its own international school of journalism. The reason why #1 university in social sciences in Kazakhstan decided to launch a school of journalism, which is not a traditional field for us, to start something clearly new, is this global shift in the media consumption, in the media in general. We need to train the new generation of journalists. Now we not only talking about the media consumption in general or the future of traditional media, because you know that in Kazakhstan we are quite proud of mobilography. We are well advanced in this. We are well advanced in this discipline, thanks to personal mobilographer of President Tokayev, who started this wave. And now, if you don't have reels on Instagram, it means that you never had an event or something like that. Everyone do have their own mobilographer, and this type of skills is essential for modern journalists. So you don't need a big production to create a content. You don't need a huge team behind of you, and especially with all of the traditional standards in fact-checking, in checking the sources, in double-checking the sources. So if you have a clear idea, you can use a TikTok or Instagram to be influencer, and that's a problem. So not only traditional media like a newspaper or outlets are facing this trend. I think we all, as many different professional fields, facing this form of content when someone who is not qualified to do something or comment on something might be #1 according to the people choice and numbers they do have on their social medias.
Miraz, can I add some joke here? It's a joke of my client. He said before, if everyone had 2 angels behind their backs, now they have 1 mobilographer.
Yes, and generally I would like to add that I totally agree with all speakers, but from my side I would like to add that we are standing like for me, it's kind of historical era when everything changes. And we can just assume what would happen with television, what would happen with internet, what would happen with those short stories, short type of videos, which increase the interest of young people. But generally, all those digitalization, which we stand for now, for this era, will change everything. And it's very interesting to see what would happen in the future.
Talking about it and about the technological trends all over the world. For instance, last 2 years we saw the rise of ChatGPT. Then we had the other appliances. We saw how DeepSeek was created just for $6 billion of USD. And it's one important trend all over the world, the new technological race. Now in the sphere of technologies, in the sphere of AI. So each country, for instance, in European Union, they have their own programs on creating data centers. India has its own programs. Last week, Trump had a huge trip to Arabian world, and one of the biggest deals which he made with the United Arab Emirates is actually a deal about the creation of data centers and creating some AI products. And this competition between the countries, it will increase. It will not stop.
Yes, and regarding the tools and regarding the trends which are going around AI, I would like to add that we in our institute are developing now visual language model. It is called Oylan. It's a kind of ChatGPT, but with the mentality of Kazakhstan, the mentality or all those ethics, all those national identity which is inside, and it's totally hosted in Kazakhstan. All data centers are in Kazakhstan, so all data are preserved here in Kazakhstan and never goes outside. So, and also we are developing application which helps to break bridges between Kazakh native speakers and English native speakers, because it is a new translator, the first one which synthesizes language into the text, voice into the text, text into the voice. And now it has, like, it's called Soyle translator. It has 4 languages: Kazakh, English, Russian, and Turkish. And it helps to, in terms of the media was our first customers who came to us and said, so there's a new movie appears, and it is in English, and we have to have subtitles in Kazakh and to have voice of Kazakh people who will, like, could you please help us? And as it's an AI tool, so this is one of the first case of ours, which was where we translated the movie, and then we translated the book, artificial intelligence book, which is originally written in English. We have translated with this application for like a few minutes and sent it to vast areas in Kazakhstan to those people who cannot understand English. Now they can read it in Kazakh. So this is how we work.
Thank you. Miraz, a question to you, but based on all of that then, this picture which is being painted of the new media landscape, the fact that, as somebody said, if it's not on an Instagram reel, then it didn't happen. You know, we've got presidents now who are speaking on social media platforms, seemingly off the cuff. We've got, as you just said, I mean, a national identities being baked into narratives which are taking place about issues. Is it now harder or easier to get to the facts, the truth of situations when we have global conflicts, diplomatic disputes, for example?
Well, it depends to the audience and someone who is consuming the content. Because the reason is simple. In the era of post-truth world, you can believe in wherever you want. And you can easily find a lot of evidence just to support your own idea on something, just to support your own perception of something. I think the biggest difficulty all of this dramatically changed media landscape creates also for my own field, for international affairs, is the fact that we have too much content sometimes, from time to time. If just to remind you about shuttle diplomacy of Henry Kissinger, it is absolutely not working in terms of modern conflicts, as example. And the reason is extremely simple, because it's all available, it's all online 24/7. So you can find out wherever the one rocket or bomb is shelling, so you will see it in a live. That's why you cannot limit an information for one side or another side of conflict, and that's why shuttle diplomacy is not working in its traditional way as of now. Also, when we're talking about presidents using different media and social media accounts, it actually depends, because we know that there's usually a huge team behind of presidents, so you cannot be really sure that a couple of sentences was really written by him. That's why, and of course I understand who you mentioned about, who you're thinking about asking this question, but in general, I really believe that most of the presidents do use social media accounts not to manipulate with information or something, but to provide their own, or to describe their own idea on that. Just to make a statement, just to project their own influence, and to make it absolutely clear for any partner in the world what they're thinking about some concrete things happening in the world anytime.
And usually when there is a gap of information, it's always filled. Yes.
Well, it all depends from situation to situation, because I always think about the gap of verified data, because you know about so many media speculations and using not only deepfake but videos which was recorded much earlier or not in that location in general, and saying that it is happening right now, I don't know, in this part of the world or another. So that's the core difficulty of the moment. The speculation with the public opinion, the speculation with emotions, because the content creators are not thinking about the standards. They're thinking only about numbers. How many shares, likes, reactions, I don't know, interactions, and so on and so forth they're going to have, and how many, I don't know, sponsors or advertising they're going to attract thanks to these numbers of statistics of their accounts.
Talking about it, so with time I think we will came to the model when we have some kind of spam. So some junk creators, deepfakes will become to spam, and you will listen just to several persons, for instance, official Telegram channels or TikTok channels, and some experts who will describe you with the time, I think.
What is exactly public diplomacy? And can we accept what you said as a public diplomacy? And how is it being implemented through media?
Well, talking about public diplomacy, the field of diplomacy, it's actual people-to-people contacts. So it's not about media consumption or something like that in a classic way, but still, even a public diplomacy is affected by rise of AI and all of the digitalization of our daily processes. First, because we became much more closer to each other. So you don't have to physically travel wherever you need or wherever you have to see something. It's all online now. You remember the beautiful world prior to pandemic, when we never learned or heard about Zoom or something like that. So we really appreciate, especially in academia, which I'm representing now, we really like to travel to conferences, to speak, to meet with colleagues, to have the meetings, to have a working meetings, well, to create a special delegations to go somewhere, especially to the World Congresses, the rest of the beautiful events all around the world. But what do we have now? it's all online. If you want to hear, I don't know, distinguished Harvard professor, you may do it anytime you want, because it's all recorded. We do have a lot of video, we do have a lot of content, both verified or not, because I don't know wherever you use, what is the title, YouTube Shorts, right? They just put a 20-second video about something really interesting, and the longest version is available on our channel, like a descriptor. So we do use a lot of forms of communications as of now. Wherever it's really affecting the public diplomacy, I think no. But what is really affected by the rise of technologies is our ability to speak, is our ability to interact with each other, is our ability to, well, to actually not only express yourself, but also understand different cultural backgrounds, to understand different, and to preserve these cultural backgrounds, because in the world of unification and standardization, if I may, to preserve this traditional background of every single country. I don't know, from the pose you sit on the panel, to the colors you use to wear your daily outfit for this panel. It's all affected with the world of standardization, in one hand, in another hand, in an issue of not be standardized, but preserve your national traditions, culture, and identity.
Can I just pick up on that a little bit more? It's very interesting, when you look at the world of diplomacy and the world of media and communications, and I think for many years they were connected but separate, and the sense I'm getting is that they're converging somewhat. Has the toolkit then of the diplomat changed, and therefore has the skills required to be an effective diplomat, have they changed too?
Well, it is important even in terms when you train the future generations of diplomats, and we do have our own program in international affairs, meaning that we also prepare the future diplomats for the foreign policy of the country, which is extremely proud of its foreign policy. But what do we have now? Especially traveling around the world, meeting a lot of colleagues also in our embassies. The challenge 20 or 30 years ago was to describe or to tell about the country you were representing, in the country of your residence of the moment. The challenge now is not only attract, I don't know, foreign investor, colleague, wherever, but also you have to be very much, let's call it advanced in marketing, in promotion, in PR, in all of the digital technologies, because you still need to record reels, you still need to make a short interview, or be able to be creative. That's why this beautiful rise of creative industries, especially in this part of the world, we pay special attention in Kazakhstan in developing creative industries, is actually also affecting the diplomacy, because you don't have to, the workload has changed. You don't have to negotiate your colleagues all the time, and the reason is simple, because you do have a lot of information about your country 24/7. So you might check wherever you need or wherever you're interested in about Kazakhstan, every single aspect of our domestic policy, economic policy, foreign policy, our daily life, culture, history, wherever. And you're coming to your negotiation already well prepared.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Miraz, and to all our distinguished panelists for a fantastic start to our discussion. We appreciate your comments very much indeed.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate your opinion and the constructive dialogue.
I'm now going to hand the microphone to AnewZ's Katie Wilson. This is not the end of the discussion, this is just half time. And Katie is going to come out into our audience, also of distinguished experts, to share their views and comments too. Katie.
Thank you, Guy, and thanks everybody for a great discussion. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming, and we've invited you here today as we think you can contribute something really valuable to this debate and this discussion. So I would like to invite anybody who has a question, a thought, a comment, to raise your hand, let me know, and I'll come to you. Yes, your hand went up straight away. Please introduce yourself as well.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Shaumen Jingirkhan. I'm currently studying at this university, AnewZ. I'm senior student in finance. And I have really interesting question. What the hidden danger can include AI tools nowadays? Because as you said previously, our generation, new generations, they have like clip thinking, so information should be provided by 10 or less than minute clips. So what's the potential hidden danger can bring AI tools, and also can you explain it from the ethical side? Thank you.
I guess Amina can answer.
Yes, one of the, it's not a hidden danger, but it's like obvious danger. It is that all the young generation is, like, it's not only young generation, it's all of us, we all start to use those AI tools, and we forget about one most thing, that our neural nets in our brain shall work, and it shall do something new in order to train, like, if we'll talk about AI, it lies along our brain, and we still do not know how our brain works and how it will affect. If we'll start to use all AI tools, it will do everything for us, what we will do, how our brain will continue training itself, keep opening something new. So this is like very obvious one. And another obvious thing, it is cybersecurity. It is data which we put inside this AI. Nowadays, 95% of data which are circulated around the AI tools, it's a trash. It's something that very unuseful, very damaging firstly ourselves. And only 5% which brings some potential results. So this is like, from my side, it's very two kind of obvious, dangerous, which we can face in the future. And we still, like, we are now still facing it with those short videos, with those, like, when people start just stopping thinking and stopping creating something by themselves. They all rely on technologies. But they forget about that the technology, behind all the technology stands this brilliant brain which has created it. So, yes. Do you have something to add?
You know, personally as a mom, I'm very much worried that our children, and mostly youngsters, they are not able to stay focused for a long time. And one, like, even as a PR specialist, I don't know how can we deliver information properly in 1 minute or even in 30 seconds. And today, what are mostly marketing companies, content creators are seeking is like, please watch my video till the end. Yes, this is like, you have to say this in the beginning. And why? Because people today cannot focus, and also children. And personally, I'm very worried for myself, because I'm the victim, and also for my children, because they are watching shorts on TikTok. And speaking of the, like, is there any hidden danger? Once again, it's better to be, not to be too optimistic about the danger of short thinking.
Thank you. Have we got any more comments, thoughts, questions? Okay, go on.
And the last one question, is there any possibilities that AI tools will be somehow regulated in the future?
They are regulating now. I have 3 fields I'm working in very depth, and one of them is in Majlis. We're working in 3 legislation projects. And one of them, like it's just coming to Majlis, it's about regulation in artificial intelligence. For now, I cannot say nothing. I can say nothing, but I can assure that it's being regulated. Of course it needed, and maybe we had to start this conversation maybe 1 year ago.
Well, and actually coming back to your first question and combining it with your second, we already started to regulate AI usage and AI consumption on a daily routine. For example, here at university, we are proud founding member of the League of Academic Integrity in this country. And we wrote a very first, for Kazakhstan, code of ethical use of AI in education. So you may use AI for some very, very limited areas, but not to interpret results, not to create statements. So I really believe in the thing which is really concerning about new generations and the usage of AI is a waste of talents. We cannot really identify who is really can write, and especially in terms of journalism, applied analytics, policy analysis. It is extremely important. It is cornerstone of our job. You don't have to be an excellent public presenter, but you have to write very clearly for your decision maker, for your policy maker, wherever. And the problem is very simple. If someone, I mean, for example, a representative of the new generations of our profession, may use a lot of prompts to create letters in the most beautiful spelling, you know, I think the catastrophe of English is a variety of its accents, of its regional accents. For example, how we formulate sentences being a Kazakhs. We still use some markers from Kazakh language, even talking in English. But someone is using brilliant prompts, so it's well-written email and so on and so forth, or statement, text, article, wherever. But what is the real contribution or added value of that employee? Why should I spend some amount of money for his salary rather than have, I don't know, couple of AI subscriptions, which is much, much more cheap than having full employee, full-time, even part-time. Why do I have it? So I think we should think not only about regulating AI, but also how we, as professionals in our own fields, see AI in the current future.
I can add something here. I believe that today the value of uniqueness is being demolished. Because I'll share one secret here now. When I say I have at least some brilliant journalists or the writers, and when I need something to be written in their manner, I just say, act like some journalist or some writer or some poet, and I give this text and I ask with being the same like this person, yeah? And there is a question I'm asking myself and everybody here. Let's speak a little bit of this and the value of uniqueness. Because if you are unique as a journalist, you are making a brilliant text, and someone can easily copy your style with AI. So what does uniqueness mean today?
I think with time, in some period of time, because now we have the AI euphoria. Everyone using AI, everyone write something, do something, create some videos. But with time, more competitive persons will understand that what is my uniqueness is actually my capital, my human capital. I have to be verified, I have to be credible. Only in this case I will have more subscriptions. Only in this case, people will talk about me. And it's quite important.
But my point is that today uniqueness is very easy to copy.
I would like to add from this point of view, because when we talk about AI, it is a tool, and we have to understand that it is a machine. It is machine learning, it is machine producing the content. And it steals, even though it copies, it never take everything what is inside your uniqueness, what is inside yourself. It will take only just what stands above and try to copy on it. But it is machine, and it will never be as unique as a person, as a human being. So,
if we would have importance of uniqueness at this moment, we wouldn't have this offline meeting. There will be our AI avatars.
yes, I would like also to add that, yes, now it's an euphory about AI tools, about everything. We're so happy to see it. But for the one day, and it will be very in a short time, I believe that we will understand that it's only a tool which will help us, but it's not something that will replace us, and it's something that we have to replace everything from our stuff. So.
But my question to my colleagues is, in these days, do we explore so deep and seek for our uniqueness? Do we do this so much these days? Because do we have time for this? to find our uniqueness?
It depends. It depends on I think it depends on the person, depends on the lifestyle, depends on the stage of the life where this person stands. If, for example, if we'll talk about young people, they have to look for their uniqueness. They have to understand themselves. But if we'll talk about the mid-aged person, it's more or less likely know about his uniqueness, but sometimes they also stand for this and start to think, maybe I have to do something new. Maybe I have another talent which I have never discovered because I was so busy with all other stuff. So it depends on many questions.
I believe from the point of the collective behavior, we are just relying too much on AI, about being effective, but not deep as personalities.
Well, I think now we are, as a nation, we are thinking about it, we are reflecting it in more conceptual way. So not in a one concrete person case, but in terms of nations in general. Like what make Kazakhs unique as of now? We started to identify ourselves, the country, as a middle power. So what makes Kazakhstan a middle power? Why Kazakhstan is middle power? How should we think about this middle powermanship, and what is the real responsibilities for the country? Coming back to the nations, what makes Kazakh unique? Why? So we were extremely proud of our history, okay, but it is shared with Turkic nations, for example. Most of the historical figures in the Kazakh history also join historical figures for the Turkic states. What makes us unique now? Why? How can we be competitive? Because you know that many, I think popular culture created different perceptions on different nations. Like perception like British do love tea, and Kazakhs also do. So we can compete with British, with every single British person in how much tea we can drink, in one sense. On another hand, what do we have now? What is the uniqueness of Kazakhs as a nation? I'm talking not only about ethnic groups, but Kazakhs as citizens of the Kazakhstan. What makes us unique? And as soon as we will formulate this uniqueness for the nation, we will come back to the discussion of what makes me unique in this group of unique nations.
Sorry.
I'm really sorry. I'm gonna thank you so much for this debate, but I really want to hear from the audience here. Have we got any thoughts? It's all very thought-provoking.
Hello, my name is Asem Kusmanova. I'm sociologist, researcher. Today, everyone exists in own bubble. I mean, informational bubble. For example, I'm a fan of science, so I consume information related to science. If someone is, had passion to football, he consume this information related to this, and as a consequence, everyone has own universe, but it is threatened for our social cohesion, social solidarity. We are starting to lose common things, common background, for achieving something, we need to unite based on some sameness. But today we have more individuality than collective behavior, collective identity. What is the solution? How we can keep our in this world of polarization, how we can keep our not sameness but unity? Yes.
I don't think that it happens right now, because there is a social theory that circle of our conversation, the circle of my network system of every person includes only 100 persons. So this is a theory. It's not just happening now. What is some kind of a solution in this technologically developing world is developing your critical thinking skills, because only critical thinking will help you not to drown up in this AI, deepfakes, inflows of information. Only developing your critical thinking, only understanding that you are living in the bubble, and sometimes you have to go out of this bubble, increase your networking system, face to new people will help you.
I think it's all about empathy first, because yes, we will always live in our own bubbles. It doesn't matter how many efforts will you put to make it bigger, anyway it is a bubble. Even the countries do live in their own bubbles, do live in their own perceptions of different things. I call it personally strategic culture of the nations, which is a beautiful combination of historical background of the nations, which is affecting different perceptions, how we see the world, how we see the families, the processes, and so on, norms, values, and so on and so on. What do we have in Kazakhstan? Still, even if we do live in bubbles, we still have that beautiful phenomena of bigger families. In Kazakh language, we have almost 100, I think it's 97, words to describe your relative status to the person. So it's not only about son, sister, brother, mother, or father-in-law. It is 97 titles to describe how you are related to this concrete person in terms of your background. So not just a colleague, but some member of your bigger family. So I think it is pretty much okay as of now for us to stay in our own bubbles if we put a lot of empathy and try to understand each other. The reason is simple. For 99% of population in the world, there is no any single, the peer review process of academic publishing is not an issue. But here at university, especially our colleagues who are publishing, who are active scholars, they do concern about publications, I mean academic publishing. It is not easy to be published. It's not easy to write academic books, to be peer-reviewed by your colleagues. Always double-blind peer review process. So it's not easy, but it is not a problem for the huge audience. So that acceptance that every single person do have its own problems, do have its own lifestyle, values, principles, norms, and so on and so forth, is a key for something we call unity. Because I really believe that Kazakhstan is rich because of the idea of blossoming complexities, of having different identities, being representing different ethnic groups, but still be united by our differences.
It's an incredibly interesting point. I think we've got just about time for one more very quick question, if that's okay with everybody. Katie?
Yes, would anyone like to close off? Yes.
Hello, my name is Aidana Kesina. I'm representing Kazakhstan Institute for Strategic Studies. My question is about AI ethics in terms of sustainability. So as we know, even like the single chat GPT request or prompt requires like a ton of energy, electricity. And as far as I know, even now, ChatGPT consumes the amount of energy that equals maybe 100 countries. So, and how do we find this balance between developing AI and staying sustainable? Yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
As I already told, there is a technological race. So each country tries to increase its own efficiency. We had the ChatGPT, which was ate around $1 billion of USD, and we got DeepSeek, which ate only $6 million of USD. So we, in some time, I think the technological development will allow us not only reduce the electricity, but also accept the electricity. AI, ChatGPT, they also consume a lot of water for reason. So in some time, I believe the technological development will allow us to decrease this consumption.
Yes. If we'll talk about the sustainability and all those data centers, all those supercomputers, Kazakhstan is lack of it. In Kazakhstan, we don't have this power and this machines which US has. But what we have done in our institute, we have developed our own inference server because we lack of those machines. But we still have to deploy and to run all AI models, and we have done it like as a box, a small box, which consumes not as much energy and not as much electricity, and it could be stand like here and serve an AI tool. So I think that each institute, each entity which works with AI will face this problem and will think how they can reduce all of those. So it's kind of like, I agree that it's a competition, and it's two ways of one process. So.
Thank you very much for all of your answers and for all of your questions, and thank you for participating in this conversation.